Hi, Clara Applewhite of Clara Applewhite Designs. In this video, I will show you how to apply the Gutta. Here is the Gutta application, the application bottle or applicator. There's a stylus. And I usually keep a couple pins. So if I need to fix anything on the silk, I can just put this into the point of the stylus to keep it clear. But that's not for half day. Once you finish applying, then you have to wash it out. But we are doing our application. I have my little spritzer bottle. Keep this wet. When you're doing your application, you always want to make sure that you're holding the applicator at an angle, not this way. If it's directly up and down, it's going to clog your stylus. We don't want that. So I'm going to begin to apply. I am going to do a natural border. So I'm going to pull a line straight down each side of my scarf. And here we go. You're going to test it. The flow, flowing nicely, and off we go. Don't expect to get pristine straight lines. This is hand painting. So you're trying to get a rhythm. You also trying not to touch the silk. Now, because of the space, I now have to turn the screen. Now, always be careful. When you're pulling lines, sometimes you have a little air bubble. You always make a note of that and go back and fill it in. But don't stop at that point. So now, my next step is, I have borders in my piece, so I'm going to pull those lines next. Trying to get a rhythm going. So I've done the borders and I've decided that that is going to be the bottom of my scarf at that end. So before I go there, and I do this with most of my scarves, create some kind of interest at the border end. And I'm also going to put a little section for my name. So I'm going to make the little bubble for my name and do that interest. Now we are going into the body of the scarf to do or to draw the design. And you can see it's a curvilinear design. The design is really based on the brain coral that is found in Bucca Reef in Tobago and many coral reefs. So once you decide what you're going to do, you're trying to create a rhythm. Get a rhythm going while you're applying the Gutta. Off we go. One thing you'll see me doing, I'm starting a line at an end. I'm also creating little blocks where you see me touching these areas because I'm doing this in 2 colors. And once you start applying the paint or the dye, you need rest points. So that's how I create my rest points. If I don't want anything bleeding from this section to the field, I create rest points again where they touch. Now, if I don't mind the bleeding into the field, then I don't need the rest points. It all depends on what you want to achieve with your piece. One thing I want you to note, make sure, and this is one reason why you're not leaning on the fabric. You need to be able to see where you're going. So you choose where you're going to begin to pull a line and make sure, especially when you're doing curvilinear lines like this design, make sure you can see where you're pulling your Gutta. Otherwise, you might very well create something of a design you don't want. So here we go again. And that means you choose where you're going to start your line, pulling your line. So this is one area I'm coming to, and it's pretty busy. I may have to do this first. Because this particular motif goes over the coral. So I'm going to stop now, rest my back before we go on again and fill up. So now I've finished drawing with the Gutta on the piece, as you can see, and I'm preparing to wash out the stylus with hot water. No need to see that, but I've already refilled my applicator bottle for the next video, for the next piece. And now we let this dry thoroughly. Already there are a few sections that are dry, but you want to make sure all these little, thick spots are dry all the way through. So we'll start painting tomorrow. And here we are. Before I even begin, I have my paper ready to write down and to paint my legend, my color legend, because I keep a note of all the colors in case I want to be able to do it again, and I'll probably do it again. Some designs I make 2 different colorways, sometimes 3. So see you then. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do send me any questions you may have. I'll be happy to answer them. I've been thinking of doing a paid online course, so please be sure to comment if you are interested. Also, check out my Instagram at Clara Designs Art.